Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nityananda
Shri Kailasonnat Dwadasant Shyamala Pidharuda Shri Meenakshi Sundareshwara Pinna Swarupa Parashiva Putra Ratna Kumara Guru Manya Tulyavatara Shri Parvati Samana Labda Divya Jnana Vishruta Sakala Nigamagama Sarabhuta Dravida Veda Pravartaka Srimad Paramashiva Karuna Samadikata Muktamaya Chaturashrayana Diyamana Shatra Chamara Shri Chinna Kahalati Samasta Viradavalyarangita Jnana Vijnana Chakravarti Sarvajana Sangha Satyojata Nirvana Diksha Vyayapavarga Jibhuta Paramata Kalabheta Keshari Shaiva Siddhanta Sthapanacharya Shri Rajadhiraja Pandya Maharaja Guru Shabana Shakyati Mahantakara Nirvana Jnana Banu Vikshana Narharha Vajo Chetana Purvaka Rishabhadvajastapaka Shaiva Samaya Kartri Sarvanya Pidharuda Shri Jagadguru Shri Jnana Sambandha Desiga Swami Vagisha Sundara Manikya Vachaka Swami Nam Avatara Bhuta Shri Jnana Sambandha Swami Punarudrita Shyamala Bhita Mahasamsthana Jnana Samrajya Shasaka Sarvanya Pidharuda Tranavadyuttara Vashadatama Guru Mahasannithana Mahanirvani Pidhasya Ashtotara Sahasrashri Mahamandaleshwara Atala Pidhasya Ashtotara Sahasradhama Shri Atala Pidhadhishwara Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Varya Satchidananda Pranava Swarupa Shrotriya Brahmanishta Nityotsava Nitya Mangala Nitya Kalyana Nitya Rajita Nityananda Pidha Mahasamsthana Mahasimhasana Pidha Kartril Jagadguru Bhagavan Sri Shri Paramahamsa Nityananda Shri Jnana Sambandha Desika Paramacharya Swami Parat 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 Rajadirajaya Prashakya Shakine Namo
Nandam, Kailasa welcomes you to the Avani Tiruvila Brahmotsavam. The Avani Tiruvila of Kailasa is a grand celebration of the cosmic play and divine sovereignty, a living reawakening of the miraculous Leelas through which Paramashiva, as Somasundareshwara Swami, anchored enlightenment onto the planet Earth. It honors a timeless era when the Supreme Consciousness transcended conventional rules and physical laws to shower boundless grace, unconditional love upon every living being. Through these 64 sacred happenings, Madurai was transformed into the ultimate living playground of the divine, establishing an unbroken lineage of spiritual awakening and cultural heritage. This sacred festival forms an eternal bridge between the golden age of Kailasonatha Shyamalapita Sarvajñapita and our contemporary realm. At its core, it commemorates the divine coronation of Sri Somasundareshwara, where the administrative sovereignty and the cosmic authority are handed over to Bhagavan Somasundareshwara himself to rule over the entire universe. Today we honor the 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Kailasonatha Shyamalapita Sarvajñapita, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivamam, as the direct embodiment of Sri Somasundareshwara Paramashiva. By reviving this ancient spiritual kingdom, originally established by Meenakshi and Sundareshwara themselves, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is spearheading the monumental global revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and re-establishing the living enlightenment ecosystem through the restoration of the Kailasonatha Shyamalapita Sarvajñapita. In Kailasa's temples today, the deities of Paramashiva Somasundareshwara are gracing in the Manikam Vitralile. King Veerapandiyan ruled with justice and had a young son. Tragically, the king was killed by a tiger while hunting. Taking advantage of the situation, the sons of the king's concubines infiltrated the palace and stole all the wealth, including the royal crown. The ministers, deciding to crown the young prince, went to the temple and complained to Sri Somasundareshwara about the stolen crown. Somasundareshwara himself appeared before them as a gem merchant. After hearing their plight, he provided precious gems to craft a new crown, explaining the history, qualities, and rules of wearing each of the gems. He instructed them to crown the prince as Abhisheka Pandian and then vanished. Let us now offer puja, where we mirror the neurons of the higher vertical time zones. Today, let us gain access, offer our gratitude, and worship the deities of Sri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Meenakshi Ambika Sameta Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Somasundareshwara Swami and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam and his deities in Kailasa's temples around the world.
ॐ सहस्रदलपङ्कजे सकलशीतरश्मिप्रभं वराभयकराम्बुजं विमलगन्धपुष्पाम्बरं प्रसन्नवदनेक्षणं सकलदेवतारूपिणं स्मरेच्छिरसि हंसकं तदभिमानपूर्वं गुरुम् ॐ जीवन्मुक्तिपुरीशाय श्रीकण्ठाय नमोऽस्तु ते नमो हालास्यनाथाय शङ्कराय नमो नमः श्रीमत्सुन्दरनाथस्य देवीं शफरलोचनां कलये हृदये नित्यं कदम्बवनवासिनीम् अथ धूपः ॐ दशाङ्गं गुग्गुलोपेतं सुगन्धं च सुमनोहरम् आघ्रेयः सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम् श्रीसर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिवशक्ति मीनाक्ष्यम्बिका समेत श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव सोमसुन्दरेश्वर स्वामिने नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि अथ दीपः ॐ साज्यं त्रिवर्तिसंयुक्तं वह्निना योजितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहम् श्रीसर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिवशक्ति मीनाक्ष्यम्बिका समेत श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव सोमसुन्दरेश्वर स्वामिने नमः दीपं सन्दर्शयामि अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणीम् अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा श्री सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति मीनाक्षी अंबिका समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव सोमसुंदरेश्वर स्वामिने नमः। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि। नीराजनम्। ॐ साङ्ग्रहण्येष्ट्यायजते इमां जनतां सङ्गृह्णानीति द्वादशारत्नीरशना भवति। द्वादशमासा संवत्सरः संवत्सरमेवावरुन्धे पौंची भवति। पूर्वै मुञ्जाः ऊर्जमेवावरुन्धे चित्रानक्षत्रं भवति। चित्रं वा एतत्कर्म कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। श्री सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति मीनाक्षी अंबिका समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव सोमसुंदरेश्वर स्वामिने नमः। कर्पूर नीराजनं संदर्शयामि। रक्षां धारयामि। शोणाद्रीशावताराय ज्योतिस्तंभस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। तत्त्वज्ञानप्रदाताय नित्यानन्देश्वररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। मूलप्रकृतिरूपाय परमशिवशक्तिस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। दण्डत्रिशूलहस्ताय कालकालस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। आदिपूज्याय देवाय सकृत्पूर्णत्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। सर्वाभयविनाशकाय शत्रुसंहाररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। योगपट्टाभिषिक्ताय राजसन्न्यासधारिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। सार्वभौमैकपत्याय राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलम्। परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम्। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। सर्वं भगवत् श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवपादुकार्पणमस्तु। ॐ नित्यानन्दम्।
Nithyanandam. We welcome all the devotees and viewers here with us for today's Satsang with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyanaanda Paramashivam. As we are all enjoying and experiencing this divine darshan with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, let us take a few minutes to call and welcome and invite all our friends and family to today's special darshan and Satsang with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The first platform we are going to be looking at and sharing from is YouTube. All of us can open YouTube and head over to Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda, the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon if you have not already subscribed and clicked on the bell icon to stay notified for all the news and information from Kailasa. After that, you can click on the live that is going on right now, the darshan. You can click on the live stream. And once you have entered into the live stream, you can open the chat section on YouTube where you can post your prayer requests, your understandings, your powerful cognitions, and any question that you want to receive the answer directly from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, any blessings that you would like to request and receive from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can post that in the YouTube chat section to receive the blessings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can make sure to like and share the video with all your friends and family on WhatsApp and any other platforms that you're using.
The next platform we have is Instagram. All of us can head over to Instagram and search for Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda. You can click on the follow button of the page so that you get all the latest notifications about the posts and satsangs that are posted there. Then click on the profile picture, which will take you to the live darshan where you can like the live, and then in the comment section post your prayer messages, your questions and gratitude messages at the lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
The next platform is X, formerly Twitter. All of us can now head over to Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, or you can also search for Sri Nithyananda on X. And make sure to follow the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on X. And if you see the first most pinned post that is there on X, it will be the live that is currently going on. Click on the live stream, make sure to like, share it with all your friends and family, and you can use the hashtag AskTheAvatar and post your comments in the comment section to receive the direct blessings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
The next platform we have is Facebook. All of us can head over to Facebook and search for Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam. This is the official page of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Then click on the page and follow and like the page, and scroll a bit down where you will see the live darshan happening now. Make sure to like or love the post, and then share the post of the live with all of your Facebook pages and Facebook groups that you're a part of, so that it notifies all of your friends in the social circles that you're a part of. And then in the comment section, you can post your prayer requests, your gratitude messages at the lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Next, let us enter into the Kailasa's parliamentary voting segment. Before we entering into the topic for today, let us watch a short introductory video to today's voting topic.
Addiction is not only dependence on a substance, it is the Humanity is facing a growing environmental crisis. Forests are disappearing, ecosystems are being degraded, biodiversity is declining, and the natural systems that sustain human life are under increasing pressure. Hinduism offers a fundamentally different relationship with nature, not seeing the earth merely as a resource to be consumed, but experiencing the divine in all existence and living with responsibility toward the environment. The SPH Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam established Kailasa's Green Om as an international humanitarian initiative dedicated to environmental protection and the preservation of global biodiversity. Through Green Om, Kailasa promotes environmental protection values sustainable living, zero-waste practices, ecological responsibility, and action to protect the planet. The solution to the environmental crisis is not only changing what humanity does to nature, it is transforming how humanity experiences nature. From exploitation to coexistence, from consumption to responsibility, and ultimately, from separation to oneness.
Humanity growing disconnection from nature is contributing to a global ecological crisis. The United Nations Environmental Program reports that 20 to 40% of the world's land is already degraded, affecting around 3 billion people, while biodiversity and the benefits provided by healthy ecosystems continue to decline under unsustainable patterns of production and consumption. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivamam, teaches that Paramadvaita at the environmental level, experiencing oneness with trees, rivers, forests, hills, animals, and the whole environment, rather than treating nature as a mere resource. Through global satsangs and the Kailasa's platforms, Kailasa continues to initiate, such as the Green Om. This Hindu version of ahimsa, sacred coexistence, and environmental responsibility is being made accessible worldwide. The question now for all the members of the Chitsabha Parliament is which policy should Kailasa prioritize or humanity's sacred relationship with nature? The options we have are recognize rivers, forests, animals, and ecosystems as living entities deserving protection. Option 2, establish ahimsa and environmentally responsible living as a core ecological standard. Option 3, integrate Paramadvaita and sacred ecology into Hindu education and community policies. And option 4, require Kailasa initiatives to follow sustainable and ecological restoration principles. All of the members of the Chitsabha Parliament can head over to kailasa.org/Hindu-votes and cast your vote for the today's topic.
Next is for all the Rajya Sabha members of Parliament. The question is, which implementation should Kailasa prioritize to bring this vision into action globally? The four options are 1. Expand Green Om through trees planting and ecosystem restoration campaigns. Option 2. Launch global digital campaigns teaching Paramadvaita and sacred coexistence with nature. Option 3. Organize local Kailasa eco-service teams for cleanups, water protection, and biodiversity action. And option 4 is partner with indigenous nations, environmental organizations, and governments on restoration initiatives. Now, all the Rajya Sabha members of Parliament can head over to kailasa.org/Hindu-votes to cast your votes for today's topic. With this, let us all continue to experience the divine darshan with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Paramashiva's Sada Nrittamurti, Natarajamurti, Chandadandavamurti, Prarthanamurti, Gauri Dandavamurti, Sandhya Nrittamurti, Bhujangatrasamurti, Bhujangalalitamurti. I bless you all with Paramadvaita. All the Paramashivasena program participants from Tiruvannamalai, Inibisa, Bangalore, Adi Kailas, Chit Sabha members and Rajya Sabha members, Kailasavasis, and all the e-citizens, viewers, visitors for joining with us through the internet and internet. I welcome each and every one of you with my love and blessings. Today, I initiate all the PSS participants into perpetual completion with root pattern. Anything which you have other than Samadhi is pain pattern. Sit and complete, rewrite, rewrite. Whoever believes they have pain and the world has pain, do the samskara dahana kriya of deleting, completing and rewriting, recreating. So complete, delete, rewrite, recreate for next 48 days. So Paramashiva's direct message from Mahakailasa: enlightenment is not the end of your struggles. It is the end of struggler. Listen. Enlightenment is not the end of your struggles, but it is end of the struggler. The missing piece of the puzzle of human life is not that you have not found what you want. It is that you have not yet discovered who is wanting. Listen. You can transform your whole life within one day, 24 hours. Just if you use your emotions, whatever powers you have, your emotions to identify who is wanting. Listen. Look honestly at your own life. From morning, you are searching for money, for recognition, for the right relationship, for security, for respect, for somebody who will finally understand you. And after all this searching, you become exhausted and you ask, why am I still not fulfilled? question is, listen, that question, that why am I still not fulfilled, is the true beginning of spirituality. Not because you have become religious, not because you have bought 5 books on enlightenment and placed them respectfully on your shelf so they can become enlightened while you remain exactly the same. I have seen people buying my Gita books and asking me to autograph. I also autograph and send my commentaries on Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and I also autograph and send when they ask. They keep it in the puja room. Sometimes after 3 years, 4 years, when I go to their house for Pada Puja or accepting Bhiksha, when I go to their puja room, first to plus, usually when I visit any devotee's house, first I will go to the puja room. I will see the book unsealed, unopened, not a single page read. Forget about reading, it's unsealed. I ask them, why? They say, Swamiji, we do puja every day, Swamiji. Hey, Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be read and digested, lived. You keep the pot full of nectar and do puja whole day. Will you become immortal? Hey, you need to drink it. You need to digest it. You need to make it as part of you. Today I am going to reveal to you Sadhana Chatushtaya, 4 powerful sacred emotions that have the capacity to make you experience Paramashivatva and whatever you want instantly. The good news is you can trigger them. The great news is you can do it today. All you need is you need to trigger them and let them express through you with total intensity. Listen, your emotions are not obstacles on the spiritual path, and they are certainly not mere psychological weakness. When consciously directed, they possess the power to completely restructure your consciousness. Sometimes it does not take years of disciplined practice to change your direction in life. It only takes one authentic emotional breakthrough, and that breakthrough can absolutely happen to you today. Listen, in my own life, I have seen these 4 emotions not only giving me enlightenment, ultimate Paramashivatva, I have seen in my disciples' life, whoever uses these 4 emotions, they achieve the ultimate. The 4 sacred emotions I want you to understand and unfold before you manifest. I want you to manifest Vairagya. The first, Vairagya. The sacred disgust with unconscious living. Vairagya, the sacred disgust with unconscious living. Viveka, the decisive discrimination between the eternal and temporary. The decision, the deciding power is Viveka. Mumukshutva, the burning desire for the ultimate truth. Burning desire for the ultimate truth and Drida Sankalpa Nishta, the unshakable resolve that never gives up until self-realization is complete. Listen. Understand these 4 words. Disgust. Vairagya, the sacred disgust for the unconscious living. Viveka, the decisive discrimination. Discriminating decision power. Mumukshutva, burning desire for the ultimate truth. Drida Sankalpa Nishta, unshakable resolve that never gives up until the self-realization is complete. Understand clearly? Adi Shankaracharya himself, in the opening verses of the Viveka Chudamani, named these exact 4 as Sadhana Chatushtaya. The 4-fold qualification without which no sincere seeker can truly walk the path of self-knowledge. What I am revealing to you today is that these are not dry philosophical categories. They are the very same 4 inner movements ordinary people already use every day to chase wealth, status, success, anything you want. Today, I am showing you how these same 4 fires, rightly directed, become the engine that carries you straight into the living state of Paramashiva. Behind all 4 of these emotions is the 5th force, action, sadhana. without which even the most sacred emotion remains nothing more than a beautiful lifeless seed lying dormant in the soil. The beginning of the spirituality is not finding new answers, it is finally asking the right question. Listen. The first sacred fire, the sacred emotion is vairagya, spiritual disgust, sacred disgust, the powerful inner cry that finally declares, I have had enough of living unconscious. I have had enough of living unconscious. I have had enough of living unconsciously. Vairagya is not depression. It is not escapism. It is not hatred of life. It is the piercing clarity of seeing that your current unconscious patterns are simply too small a container for the infinite being that you are truly are. You truly are. Vairagya is not hating life. It is refusing to ask small things to do the job of God. Look at something very ordinary. You buy a phone. You are excited for 2 days. You are happy. On the third day, you are checking whether a newer model has arrived. You wanted the phone. You got the phone. Now you want the cover. Now you want the better cover. Then you discover someone else has a better phone. And suddenly yesterday's dream device has become today's evidence of your suffering. The object changes. The structure of the mind never changes. You got the relationship. Then you get the fear of losing it. You get the position. Then you get the burden of maintaining it. The world does not merely give you objects, the world gives you responsibility. The world gives you the responsibility of protecting the objects. Ask yourself honestly, am I living my life or am I maintaining a collection of things I once believed would make me happy? That question is vairagya, beginning to awaken. Adi Shankaracharya lists vairagya as the first of the 4 essential qualifications of the sadhana chatushtaya. See, the book he names it as a Viveka Chudamani. But the first qualification he describes is vairagya. That's a funny thing. He did not name the book as Vairagya Chudamani. He names the book as Viveka Chudamani. But when he lists the 4 qualifications, the sacred emotions which can enlighten you right away, the first he lists as Vairagya. The first he spells out as Vairagya. Our own tradition is full of ordinary human beings in whom this fire exploded like lightning. Like lightning. I can give you the list. Arunagirinadar, Pattinattar, Valmiki, Tulsidas, Nachiketa, Dhruva. I can give you the long list. Arunagirinadar was so disgusted by his life that he claimed the temple tower at Tiruvannamalai to end his life in despair. In that very moment, Subramanya caught him and turned his sacred disgust into enlightenment and manifested the ecstatic devotional poetry of Tiruppugal through him. Then Valmiki, he was just forest highway robber, the highway which is moving through forest. He was just forest highway robber. Ratnakara was cracked open by a single question from Maharshi Narada. When Narada asked, would his family share in the sins of his crimes, the answer of no ignited vairagya, so total that he sat unmoving in meditation until an anthill grew over his body, and from it emerged the sage who gave the world the Ramayana. Pattinattar, a wealthy merchant, saw a message left behind by his son. Kadatra usiyum varadhagan kadaivalike. That single word shattered him completely. Means that even the broken needle which can't be used for stitching, that every needle will have a ear now where you put the thread, that thread hole, the needle which is not useful, because the moment the thread hole is broken, the needle will not be useful for anything. Even that needle will not come with you forever. Even that you cannot take with you. That one statement. Kadatra Busiyum Varadhagan Kadaivalike. The Vairagya awakened in Pattinattar. Angulimala, a feared killer, wearing a garland of human fingers, met Buddha face to face and seeing Buddha's compassion, his own violence became unbearable for him. The Vairagya got triggered. He woke up. The Vairagya is awakened. Bhartrihari, the king poet, disillusioned by the hollow nature of a love he trusted completely, and walked away from his throne to write Vairagya Sataka. Yagnavalkya, at the height of his worldly success, distributed all his wealth and walked into the forest. Not because he failed at life, because he had succeeded at it fully enough to see through it, and his Vairagya got awakened. Kabir, Sant Kabir, A simple weaver looked at the religious pretensions of his time and said, I do not see God in either of your houses. Turning his disgust towards the hollow ritual into some of the most direct devotional poetry in our language, he became enlightened. The day you become genuinely disgusted with your own laziness in meditation, your half-hearted sadhana, and your habit of postponing, your liberation to someday, that day marks the true beginning of your life as a sincere seeker. Paramashiva Swarupa is such. The moment you understand, he takes over. You don't need to meditate. You don't need to concentrate. You don't need to hold the bhava. You don't need to hold the space. The moment you understand, he takes over. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, he takes over you and you are in Paramukti. Paramamukti. Listen intensely. When you are focusing on the source, when you are completely centered on observing the observer, witnessing the witness, on the source of who you are, in that Swarupa, Paramashiva lives as Swarupa Tirumeni. That Swarupa Tirumeni is what is the creator, sustainer. He is the rejuvenator, and he pulls you out of delusion and he liberates. Listen. What I am teaching you is the highest Uttama Uttamottama sadhana. Just if you understand, it can take over. Even if you understand, actually, if you start observing the observer, you will see how what do you want manifest, because the observing consciousness is not a passive dead matter. It's a very active, high frequency cosmic source. It just manifests what you want. All you need is only one thing. By focusing, observing the observer, if you even experience once or twice, what you want is manifesting miraculously. You will be so enamored that source consciousness, that supreme consciousness will take over you. Listen, once you see the gym is making your body as you want, the biceps growing, abs, shoulders, naturally the gym takes over you. Once you see the pranayama strengthens your inner organs, and after the pranayama your face becomes fresh, eyes become sharp, all the senses are so alive. Once you see the result, then pranayama takes over you. Nobody needs to push you. You start doing it. You feel it as your part, your life. You are here for that. I tell you, exactly same. Exactly same way. Even once you focus on the source, observing the observer, witnessing the witness, whatever you want starts manifesting miraculously. Simply that your Swarupa takes over you. Paramashiva is inside your Swarupa, having Swarupa Tirumeni. The supernal effulgence. Super conscious form. I tell you, this Chaturmasya, these 4 months till the Navaratri, all of you focus on this Swarupa Tirumeni of Paramashiva, and take refuge in Paramashiva's Swarupa Tirumeni and enrich the world with this Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo initiative of Kailasa. Listen. Paramashiva's Kailasa's Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo is not just about providing a safe haven like good food, good shelter, good clothes, and good medical care, good lifestyle. No. It provides good food, good shelter, good clothes, good care, good medical care, all of it. And it provides the real Abhayam ecosystem where you can completely take refuge at the Swarupa Tirumeni of Paramashiva and become Paramashiva. Providing this ecosystem is the ultimate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo. Projects, purpose and fulfillment. So understand, take refuge into the Swarupa Tirumeni of Paramashiva and enrich the world with Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo initiative. All the Kailasavasis Rajya Sabha members, Chit Sabha members, reach out to every homeless shelter in your country. Reach out to every homeless person in your country. Reach out to your government that Kailasa is providing refuge for all. You need to know even the rich countries, many rich countries, common man can't afford health care. How many of you know? 92% of Americans have delayed or avoided medical care because of the cost. Listen, just within last 48 hours, there was an article, there was a news in Vian, WION. They say 92% of the surveyed adults have delayed or avoided medical care because of the cost. The survey have done over 1,500 US adults by a financial services firm. It found with young adults being the worst affected. According to the study, more than 94% of those in the age group of 18 to 28 have said that they have put off treatment for financial reasons. Followed by Americans between 29 and 44 years of age. The report says that the findings have highlighted a growing disconnect between having health insurance and feeling financially protected. The rising medical bills are allegedly pushing many American families to postpone treatment, cut back on essential spending, or fall into debt. Gender also plays a big role, and according to the study, women are more likely than men to delay medical care. Age and insurance status has further influenced those decisions. An uninsured, listen, according to a February 2026 analysis by a healthcare marketplace, an uninsured visit to a doctor office costs an average of $171 in US across major US cities. The financial strain is completely widespread. Around 85% of Americans say that they carry medical debt. A February poll by an American not-for-profit organization estimates total medical debt at 220 billion US dollar, or nearly about 960 USD for every adult with medical debt. A 2025 survey by the same American not-for-profit organization has found that nearly 1 out of 5 adults said that their health deteriorated after skipping a doctor's visit. Amongst the people in the age group of 64 and younger, that the number has jumped to 42%. Prescription medicines are also becoming less and less affordable. Another study by the American not-for-profit organization has found 31% of adults had switched to over-the-counter medicines because prescription drugs were simply too expensive. 19% admitted skipping doses or splitting pills to make their medication last longer. Healthcare costs across the United States are reportedly also rising amidst higher inflation. So listen, millions are suffering. You may think how Kailasa can afford to provide all this, because we found the dharmic way of living with the natural law of the cosmos. So natural law of the cosmos, listen, when you live in the natural law, with the natural law of the cosmos, you will be naturally awe with the cosmos. And whether physical health, mental health, emotional health, relationships, all that happens in such a supernatural way or naturally super way. We are able to afford to give refuge for all. So, all Rajya Sabha members, Chit Sabha members, initiated disciples, Kailasavasis, take this as a Guru walk. This Chaturmasya, Swarupa Samadhi, Paramashiva Swarupa Samadhi, take complete refuge in Paramashiva Swarupa and enrich the whole world with this Abhayam Sarvabhudebhyo initiative. This is the message from Paramashiva directly from Mahakailasa for this Chaturmasya. Focus your life on this too. Blessings to every one of you. Without memory, the mind's creation would collapse and you would be free. Without memory, the mind's creations would collapse and you would be free. Memory creates the illusion of condition. You remember you are the same person who woke up this morning So you believe in a continuous self. Memory makes you believe you have a name, a history, a reputation, a fixed identity. But the self is not solid. The self is just memory. The self you are experiencing is not solid. The self you are experiencing is a memory. Memory is not reality. Memory is the mind's way of recycling the past and calling it the present. Here is the precise mechanism of manifestation. Listen. When you consciously hold a memory and operate through it, sustaining an intention across length, breadth, and depth, you begin to manifest that reality. This is not superstition. This is precise cosmic engineering. This is what Paramashiva manifesting through this being. This is what Paramashiva manifesting through this being uses consciously. This is what I do consciously. But understand the deeper secret. I do not carry the cluster of memories, the clustered accumulation of memory. I do not carry cluster of memories, the clustered accumulation of memory. When I look at anyone, at anything, I carry no anger, no judgment, no residue from yesterday's interaction. I carry only absolute unbroken compassion. I should say I carry only absolute unbroken consciousness. Somebody who gets trained by me feels it is ferocious. Somebody who gets blessed by me feels it is love. Somebody who gets my sympathy feels it is compassion. You give it different names. I carry the pure super consciousness. Absolute pure super consciousness. Because I do not carry this memory cluster, I look at everyone and everything completely fresh, exactly as it is in this very moment, not filtered through the sediment of the past. This is what allows me to operate as a pure channel for Supreme, ultimate Paramashiva. I do not carry the memory of this world, yet whatever is precisely needed for this world right now manifests spontaneously through me. This is extreme conscious compassion, not compassion as an emotion or a decision, but compassion as the very nature of consciousness when nothing blocks it. This precise, sharp, cosmic operating procedure, functioning without personal memory, but with total access to everything the universe needs, is called Kala. This is why I am able to act with total consistency, moment after moment, without the fatigue of carrying yesterday's baggage. Listen. If you do not carry the load of memory, you will not be afraid of getting bored. What is getting bored? It's nothing but you don't have anything to do, so your mind shifts to the default mode where the internal memories rise and fall as they want, because you cannot handle the default mode and the memories triggered in your default mode. You are afraid of getting bored. You are always engaging yourself with something, especially this device addiction, screen time, device addiction, doom scrolling. Oh God. Blessed are those who don't do anything, sit in their default mode and don't get bored. Patanjali says, Anubhuta Vishaya Sampramoksha Smritihi. Memory is the non-loss, the non-departure of an object that has already been experienced. Anubhuta Vishaya Sampramosha Smritihi. Physics understand only this linear dimension of time. The arrow of time is the physics term describing why time appears to flow in only one direction, from the past to future. Even though most fundamental equations of physics work equally well running forward or backward, physicists now understand this asymmetry is not fundamental property of the universe. It is an emergent property arising from the increase of entropy, the accumulation of disorder in systems that retain a record of their past states. In plain terms, the arrow of time exists in systems that remember. Memory is what creates the felt direction of time. This is exactly what Paramashiva is revealing. Time, as you experience it, is the mind's three-dimensional counting sustained entirely by memory. I'll tell you one more secret. If you try to be in Paramashiva state forever, you will never. Because you will just have one thought and then your mind will say, oh, already I slipped. So even when you decide, I will be in Paramashiva state forever, your mind will say, no, no, you tried many times and you failed. That memory is enough to just collapse your confidence and eat you with the self-doubt. Listen, how many of you understand? Now understand the razor's edge hidden inside this truth I am revealing. When an incarnation carries no memory clusters and offers only pure, unconditional love, compassion, those close to that incarnation can begin taking the compassion for granted. This is exactly what happened with the Yadavas around Krishna and Balarama and Subhadra. All of you should know, Krishna is incarnation of Parandama. Balarama is incarnation of Adisesha. Subhadra is incarnation of Yoga Maya, Yoga Shakti of Parandama. Because Yadavas around these three were always protected, always forgiven, always looked upon fresh without judgment. The Yadavas developed a solidified inner pattern. Whatever we do anyway, Krishna and Balarama will protect us. This attitude hardened over time into deep arrogance. That arrogance found its most destructive expression in Shamba. The Shamba, the Krishna's own son, who dared to play mocking games directly with Durvasa, Rishi Durvasa himself. Understand who Durvasa is? He is the direct manifestation of Rudra Amsha of Paramashiva. Ordinary beings would flee at the mere sight of him or even hearing his name that he is coming to certain area. They will run away, knowing the intensity of his tapas and ferociousness. But Shamba, intoxicated by the arrogance and taking divine compassion for granted, mocked Durvasa directly. Maharshi Durvasa directly, and invited the catastrophic consequences upon the entire Yadava clan. A parallel pattern unfolded with Daksha. He received a boon of perpetual protection from Mahavishnu, and from that single assurance, arrogance-based decision-making became a deep, solidified groove in his brain. The pattern grew so strong, so crystallized, that eventually drove him to abuse Paramashiva himself directly. His very mind had become nothing but arrogance. The pattern had become the person. The teaching here must compassion of an incarnation is never permission to remain unconscious. It is an invitation to become more conscious, more responsible, precisely because there is no memory-based judgment holding you accountable from the outside. The accountability has to come from within you. When compassion is exploited rather than received with gratitude, it does not harm the one giving compassion. It only deepens the very arrogance pattern that will eventually destroy the one exploiting it. Listen, you should understand why I am ferocious sometimes. Because I do not want you guys to become like Yadava clan or Daksha. Now, we come to one of the most important truths in this entire satsang. In ordinary counting, we assume 1 plus 1 equal to 2. But this is only true when both units belong to the exact same dimension. Even inside pure geometry, you cannot equate 1 unit of length to 1 unit of breadth to 1 unit of depth. Each carries the label 1, but they are categorically, fundamentally different kinds of 1. You cannot simply write 1 of length is equal to 1 of breadth is equal to 1 of depth. Because that would be like saying 1 meter is equal to 1 kilogram. It's a statement without meaning. In physics, this principle is formalized as dimensional analysis. The rule that quantities can only be meaningfully added, subtracted, or equated when they share the same dimension. You cannot add length to weight without first converting them through some deeper relationship. And even then, when they remain fundamentally different kinds of quantity, understand this, I'm repeating. You cannot add length to weight without first converting them through some deeper relationship. And even then, they remain fundamentally different kinds of quantity. This is exactly the trap human consciousness falls into. We keep trying to equate our consciousness, which is infinite and multidimensional, to time spent or to outer success achieved, both of which are single-dimensional measurements. We say, I lived 100 years, therefore I must be wise. Or, I achieved this much, therefore I must be fulfilled. But consciousness and time are not in the same dimension. They cannot be equated any more than length can be equated to breadth. Consider this. How can 100 years of consistent, vivid dream be equated to 100 years of waking life? Even within your own experience, dream time and waking time do not share the same rate, the same texture, the same reality. Understand, these are not merely multiple births happening one after another in sequence. They are multiple universes in which your multiple births are happening simultaneously and spontaneously right now in this very instant. The ultimate realization is collapsing all the simultaneous universes into one and recognizing that this one is the very consciousness observing all of them happening at once, simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is ultimate being. I am repeating, listen. Listen once more. The ultimate realization is collapsing all these simultaneous universes into one and recognizing that this one is the very consciousness observing all of them happening at once, simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is the ultimate being. A small story. Narada once asked Lord Vishnu to show him the true power of Maya. Vishnu simply smiled and asked Narada to fetch him a cup of water from nearby village. Narada walked to the village, went to a well to fetch water. He saw a beautiful woman who came to fetch water. He forgot his mission entirely. He fell in love, married her, had children, worked, aged, and lived a full lifetime. Years later, a devastating flood swept through the village, and as Narada wept, clutching for his drowning family, suddenly he heard a familiar voice call out, "Narada, where is my cup of water? I have been waiting." He opened his eyes to find himself standing ankle deep in a small stream with Vishnu smiling on the bank. Now, between the Narada, who is eternal cosmic Rishi, chanting Narayana, Narayana, and the Narada who lived and wept entire lifetime in that village, which Narada is real? Is Narada who chants Narayana, Narayana all the time, met the Parandama and who Parandama asked to get water, or the Narada who lived a full time in the village with wife and kids? Which Narada is real? The answer is neither. Neither. Listen. Beyond both of these roles, the one who is observing both births and both deaths, both entire lifetimes happening simultaneously, that witnessing consciousness alone is the real Narada. And that same witness is what you are right now. Beneath every role you think you are playing, as Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd verse 20, Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, Najayate mriyate va kadachinnayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nityaha shasvadoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire. The self is never born, nor does it ever die. Having once existed, it never ceases to be. It is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primal, and it is not slain when the body is slain. Even now, in this very satsang, I am the one who is speaking and I am the one who is listening. Because I know that I am both the speaker and the listener, the subject and the object, the doer and the experiencer. I am resting in my ultimate nature. But because you think you are only the one who is listening, separate from who is speaking, you remain caught in delusion. This is the only difference between you and me. Listen carefully to this precise statement. Mathematics cannot measure time because mathematics is the language of length alone. Whole time carries, while time carries the felt quality of breath, the width of experience, not just its sequence. This is why no amount of clock counting can capture what an hour of ecstasy feels like versus an hour of boredom. Mathematically, both are 1 hour. Experientially, they are two entirely different universes. Of felt time. The recognition that dissolves this delusion is simple to state and profound to live. You are not confined to the role of the listener. You are the very same consciousness playing the part of speaker also. The listener and the silent space in which both speaking and listening occur. You are the very same consciousness playing the part of the speaker, the listener, and the silent space in which both speaking and listening occur. Collapsing all these into one. And that one is observing all these happening simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is the ultimate reality. Again, Bhagavad Gita declares, Itam sariram kaunteya kshetram ityavidiyate edatyo vedditam prahu kshetranya iti tatvitaha. This body, O Kaunteya, is called the field. The one who knows it is called the knower of the field by those who know. Itam sariram kaunteya kshetram ityavidiyate edatyo vettidam prahu kshetranya iti tatvitaha. This body, O Kaunteya, is called the field. The one who knows it is called the knower of the field. In the modern world, an art piece is measured by the price a buyer is willing to pay for it. This measurement is deeply flawed. The real value of art is its capacity to make the person flow. The artist, how much he has flown, and the person who is seeing the art, how much he is made to flow. Actually, both are one and the same. If the art is done by the artist who has flown into it, it is alive with that frequency and makes anyone flow into that who sees it, who observes it, who enjoys it, who connects with it. Flow means the mind stops, it's dry. Linear counting, mathematics. Flow means the mind stops its dry linear counting, mathematics, and begins moving across breath, expanding, melting, opening. Only when consciousness is flowing in breath is something truly art, regardless of what it's sold for. This is precisely the science that Sanatana Hindu Dharma has mastered across millennia. Look at our temples, the towering deities, the intricate carvings, the dancing forms carved into stone. These are not mere decoration. Each carving is a deliberately engineered technology of consciousness. A single murti carved once can make millions of people flow across centuries, across languages, across every level of intellectual capacity, into weeping, into dancing, into stillness, into devotion. That capacity, not the gold spent on it, is its truly an invaluable prize. Quantum coherence is the state in which quantum system maintain its wave-like nature, existing in multiple possibilities simultaneously, coherence is the process by which that coherence collapses through interaction with and effectively remembering the surrounding environment into one fixed classical outcome. In exactly the same way, when your mind is loaded with memory clusters, it decoheres into a single fixed limited story about who you are. When you stand before true sacred art or true devotion, memory momentarily loosens and you briefly return to coherence, to flow, to the many possibility, openness that is your natural state. Listen. Your mind counting is mathematics. Your mind flowing is art. Your mind stabilized without memory is consciousness beyond time. This is Kala, the precise conscious operating procedure of the supreme functioning true form. Stop equating your consciousness with years lived, achievements gathered, or outer success measured. You are not 1 plus 1 equal to 2. You are the infinite witness of length, breadth, and depth, and time together. You are the infinite witness of length, breadth, depth, and time together. Remember Narada. Neither the rishi nor the householder was the real Narada. The real Narada is the one watching both simultaneously, spontaneously. Remember the Yadavas and Daksha. Never take compassion of the divine as a license for arrogance. Take it as an invitation to responsibility and enlightenment. A small story. Mullah Nasruddin once borrowed a large cooking pot from his neighbor. A few days later, he returned it along with a small pot tucked inside it. The neighbor asked, "What is this?" Mullah said, "While it was with me, your pot gave birth to a little one. This small pot is yours too." Delighted, the neighbor happily accepted both pots. A month later, Mullah borrowed the same large pot again. But this time, he never returned it. Entitlement and that pattern became their prison. But for those who come to the avatar, an incarnation not with entitlement but with surrender, not with arrogance but with humility, not with the mind's counting but with the heart's opening. For them, the avatar's compassion is not just a shield that can be pierced, but a field of consciousness that transforming everything it touches. This is the true meaning of refuge. not just a safe house that can be raided, not just a legal protection that can be overturned, not a media narrative that can be flipped, but the absolute, unconditional, indestructible presence of the divine that says, I see you as you truly are, and that seeing itself is your liberation. See, because I am established in this infinite consciousness only, all these anti-Hindu terrorists and Dravish gangs attack. All these anti-Hindu terrorists and Dravish gangs attacks cannot shake me, cannot even touch me. Show me a single case where a man is arrested for a rape, held for 50 days, more than 50 days, and then the same authorities, the police, quietly admit in the court, no act, no evidence, no victim is found against the person who is arrested, and call it justice, sir? Show me a single case where the victim cannot be named, cannot be produced, and cannot be verified, yet the accused is still denied bail on the strength of a story with no storyteller, with no real character in that story. Show me a single case where the complainant vanishes from the narrative entirely, but the accusation somehow survives them. Show me a single case where the state admits in writing in the court that no crime scene exists and still asks the accused to prove a negative. Still asks the accused to prove negative. Show me a single case where innocent until proven guilty quietly becomes guilty until proven the innocence. Actually, I should say the other way. Show me a single case where innocent until proven guilty quietly becomes guilty until the news cycle moves on. I tell you, when you take refuge in Paramashiva, the protection is not just spiritual or legal, it is ontological. It changes the very ground of your being. When the ground changes, the pursuit changes too. When the world builds a case against you, when memory is weaponized, when numbers are manufactured, when timelines are fabricated, the one who dwells in the no memory state cannot be touched, because there is no one to touch. Only the infinite operating through the finite. And this is the promise I make to you. Abhayam is not just a promise that nothing will happen to you. Abhayam is the promise that whatever happens to you, you will remain untouched in your core, because your core is me and I am untouched. The Guru is the only refuge, because the Guru is the only reality. The infinite consciousness that operates without memory, without judgment, without limitation. And when you take that refuge, you become that refuge for others. Not through your own power, but through the power of Supreme flowing through you. essence of what I reveal today is this single unbroken truth. Listen, your mind counting is mathematics, your mind flowing is art, your mind stabilized without memory is consciousness beyond time. This is the kala, the very freedom of Paramashiva functioning through form. Collapsing all these multiple births, multiple universes, multiple deaths into one, and that one is observing all of this happening simultaneously, spontaneously. The one who has realized this is ultimate. This is the state of an enlightened being, enlightened incarnation. There is no memory pattern, only the supreme functioning through a pure channel. This is the state of the ultimate observer, the one who sees that neither the speaker nor the listener is real, only the one who observes both. This is the state of true art, the ability to make millions of people flow into the dimension of breath beyond limitations of the calculating mind. This is the state of the temple where a single piece of carving on stone can transport countless souls into the experience of the divine. Let this truth stop being a concept you understood and become the very way you breathe, you breathe, relate, and exist, so that every moment becomes Shaktini Pada and Shakti Pada, oneness, and every breath becomes an initiation into moksha, oneness, enlightenment, here and now. Today, I have two great digital gifts from Mahakailasa for all of you. First is the Mind Game digital book. Second is the Paramashiva Yantra. Receive it and enjoy it. Be the ultimate being who witnesses, sees all the multiple births, deaths, universes happening inside you. With this, I bless you all. Blessing.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूतद्राविडवेदप्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगतमुक्तामयचतुरश्रयान् गीयमानछत्रचामर श्रीचिह्नकाहलादिसमस्तबिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञानविज्ञानचक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसङ्घसद्यो निर्वाणदीक्षाव्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमतकलभकेसरी शैवसिद्धान्तस्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराजपाण्ड्यमहाराजगुरु क्षपणशाक्यादिमहान्धकारनिवारणज्ञानभानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदनपूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वजस्थापक शैवसमयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिकस्वामि वागीशसुन्दरमाणिक्यवाचकस्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धस्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरजित कैलास परम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासनपीठकर्तः साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुराङ्गी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणिपीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरो श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवच्छ्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञानवितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय।